The NBA might have a new problem. Not because another super team was formed, not because a team added 3 or 4 All-Stars, not because a franchise suddenly became loaded with scores. The problem is much simpler than that. Giannis and Bam Adebayo. For years, NBA fans have talked about perfect star pairings. Some combinations looked incredible on paper, but never work in reality. Others don't get enough attention until they start winning games, and suddenly, everyone realizes how dangerous they actually are. This feels like one of those pairings, because when people first hear Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo together, the first thing they usually think about is offense. They wonder who's going to score. They wonder how the spacing works. They wonder whether two dominant interior players can thrive together in today's NBA. But that's the wrong question. The real question is this: how is anyone gonna score on them? Seriously. Think about what offenses are going to see every single night. One possession, a guard gets past his defender and attacks the rim. Waiting for him is Giannis, and one of the greatest help defenders basketball has ever seen. The next possession, a pick and roll forces a switch. Now Bam Adebayo is guarding a point guard 30 feet from the basket and moving his feet like a wing. Then Giannis rotates over. Then Bam recovers. Then the shot clock is running down. Then the offense is forced into a terrible shot. That is the nightmare scenario every team in the NBA could be facing. Because these aren't just good defenders. These are the two most versatile defensive superstars in basketball. Giannis can protect the rim, rotate from the weak side, defend wings, and completely erase mistakes by teammates. Bam could switch on the guards, defend centers, disrupt passing lanes, and anchor an entire defense. Together, they could create the most terrifying defensive frontcourt in the league. And that's before we even talk about the transition game. One of the biggest reasons Giannis has dominated the NBA for so long is what happens after a miss. Let's say you miss a shot. Giannis grabs the rebound. 3 seconds later, he's at the other end of the floor. Most players his size aren't supposed to move like that. Most players his size aren't supposed to handle the basketball like that. Yet Giannis has spent years making impossible plays look normal. Now imagine Bam helping create even more of those opportunities. More stops, more turnovers, more fast breaks, more chaos. And no one thrives in chaos quite like Giannis. That's where this partnership starts becoming scary. Because while everyone focuses on half-court spacing, championships are won through defense, rebounding, effort, and transition opportunities. Those are areas where Giannis and Bam could dominate from day one. Then there's the mentality. This is something statistics don't always capture. Both players are obsessed with winning. Both players embrace defense. Both players do the dirty work. Neither player is worried about who gets credit. Neither player built their reputation by avoiding tough assignments. When your two best players are willing to guard the opponent's best players, that changes the culture of an entire team. Role players follow that example. That's one reason this duo feels different from many star pairings we've seen before. They're not just talented. Their styles complement each other. Giannis has spent years being one of the most unstoppable forces attacking the basketball. Bam has spent years being one of the smartest and most versatile big men in basketball. Together, they can create advantages in countless ways: handoffs, pick and rolls, transition attacks, offensive rebounds, defensive switches, fast break opportunities. Every game becomes a physical battle. Every possession becomes exhausting for opponents, and over the course of an 82-game season, that wears teams down. The scary part is that neither player is relying on athleticism alone. Yes, both are incredible athletes, but their basketball IQ is what elevates them. Giannis understands timing better than ever. Bam is one of the smartest defenders in the league. That means even as they age, their impact remains enormous, and that's why this duo could become one of the most successful partnerships in basketball. Because talent wins games, but talent combined with effort, defense, versatility, and leadership wins championships. When people look back on this trade years from now, they might remember it as the moment the rest of the league realized something. The league wasn't getting another superstar duo built around flashy scoring. It was getting a duo built around dominance. A duo that can control games without making 10 three-pointers. A duo that can win ugly. A duo that can win defensive battles. A duo that can overwhelm opponents with size, speed, physicality, and effort. And if everything clicks the way many people believe it can, Giannis and Bam won't just be one of the best duos in the NBA. They might become the best duo every contender feared the most. Because while everyone else is chasing offense, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo might be building something even more dangerous. A team that nobody can stop. A team that nobody can outrun. A team that eventually no one can beat. And when it's all said and done, that's why this trade has the potential to change everything. Not because Giannis and Bam are the flashiest duo in the league. Not because they're going to combine for 70 points every night. Not because they're going to fill every highlight reel with step-back threes and impossible shots. This duo is different. This duo is built on winning. It's built on defense. It's built on toughness. It's built on doing all the little things that championship teams need. And that's exactly why they could become one of the most dominant pairings we've seen in years. Can you imagine trying to play against them in a 7-game series? Imagine spending 2 straight weeks trying to score on Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Imagine fighting for every rebound, every loose ball, every possession, every inch of space on the court. Eventually, teams are gonna break. Eventually, teams are going to run out of answers because there simply aren't many players in NBA history capable of impacting a game on both ends the way these two can. And that's what makes this so exciting. We're not talking about a duo that only works in the regular season. We're talking about a duo built for playoff basketball. The games slow down. The possessions matter more. Defense becomes everything. And suddenly, 2 of the most versatile defenders in the world are on the same side. That's terrifying. For years, Giannis has been searching for the right pieces around him. For years, Bam has proven he's one of the most valuable players in basketball, even when he isn't putting up huge numbers. Now, they're together, and the possibilities are endless. Maybe they become the best defensive duo in the NBA. Maybe they lead their team to the top seed. Maybe they make multiple finals appearances. Maybe they win a championship. Or maybe they become something even bigger than that. Maybe years from now, fans look back at this trade as the moment a new powerhouse was born. The moment the balance of power in the NBA shifted. The moment the rest of the league realized they had a serious problem. Because when Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo are locked in, playing for the same team, chasing the same goal, and bringing the same relentless energy every single night, there's a chance we're looking at one of the most dominant duos of this generation. And if that's the case, then the rest of the NBA better enjoy the competition while it lasts, because Giannis and Bam might just be getting started. Let me know what other NBA players you guys want to hear me talk about next, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.